Hey everybody, Austin here with Anglers Covey. Got another segment of Bug of the Month this month, and this month is Callibaetis. Whether this is your first year fishing our local stillwaters or you've been fishing our local stillwaters for 20 years, this is one of those hatches that you do not want to miss. Last month, John Easton covered our chironomids, which is the stillwater version of a midge. A Callibaetis is the stillwater version of our mayfly. I'm sure everybody knows of the BWO, which we have on our local tailwaters. It's the stillwater version of that, so it's part of the mayfly family. It has 3 stages of life. 1, a nymph stage, 2, a pupating stage, or an emerging stage, and then the adult stage. Let's go ahead and break down the life cycle of a Callibaetis. So number 1, they're going to start in the nymph stage. Where are you going to find those nymph Callibaetis? Is 1 in the lowest water column. They're going to hang out right around that weed bed, like I said, in the lower water column. And then number 2, they're going to go into that pupating or emerging stage. And when those Callibaetis begin to pupate or emerge, they're going to basically fill it with oxygen and air. So it's going to create a big oxygen bubble around their actual body. And then you might think it's just going to be like a direct line straight up to the surface of the water. It's actually a little bit different. It has pretty much the same emerging style as a chironomid. So it's kind of, if you think of a wave graph, it's kind of they're gonna swim up and then they're gonna drop. They're gonna swim up and then they're gonna drop. All the way up until they hit the surface of the water. And once they break the surface, they're fully out of that shuck and then they become an adult. So in my opinion, these are the easiest ways to identify a Callibaetis. They're gonna have a split tail on the back of their body. They're gonna have like an upward kind of transparent looking wing, and then their eyeballs are gonna be on the sides of their heads. So as you guys can see, it has that nice split tail on the back, kind of like that gray kind of olive color, and the slight transparent looking wing, and then the eyes on the side of its head. The prime time for Callibaetis, they're going to begin in the end month of June. They're really going to spike and really start going throughout the months of July and even through the beginning months of August. Those Callibaetis really like the warm water temperatures and the warm air, so when that water temp begins to rise, those Callibaetis are really going to spike. Some colors of a Callibaetis are kind of going to be like a gray, kind of olive, kind of yellow, kind of gray kind of color, like a really neutral looking color. A little fun fact about the color of a Callibaetis is they change their color depending on the ecosystem that they're living in. Here are some examples of some Callibaetis we like to use here in the shop. And those sizes are really going to range anywhere from honestly up to a 12 all the way down to like a 16, maybe even an 18 at the smallest. So this is how I like to set up my rig to fish the Callibaetis Lifecycle. You're going to want to use like a 6-weight or a 7-weight and a 10-foot rod. Why a 10-foot rod, you may ask? Number 1, it's going to have a lot more power in it. It's going to have a lot more backbone. And then you're going to want to use like a large arbor reel. Off of your fly line, you're going to use like a 20-pound mono material. For this, I'm going to be using a 20-pound amnesia. And then off of that amnesia, you're going to have your slip indicator. The reason we use slip indicators is so when you set the hook on a fish, it slips. So that way you don't got to worry about reaching over the boat or reaching over the shore. It just cuts that leader down way short. And then off of that 20-pound mono material, you're going to use either a barrel swivel or a tippet ring. And then off of that tippet ring or barrel swivel, you're going to go a 3X tippet material, even a 2X, 1X, even a 0X at times. And then off that tippet ring, you're going to want to go right around 8 feet of it. And then we're going to do pretty much a drop shot rig if you're familiar with that. So you're going to have, I like to space out my tags right around a foot, 1.5 feet. So as you can see, I have one tag up here. Then I have one tag down here. And then you're going to have your heavy anchor fly at the bottom. And today I'm using a leech. The way I like to target and fish the Callibaetis is, number 1, the most important thing is depth. So say you're fishing like a 12-foot section of the lake, you want to fish that 11, 10-foot range. So you're gonna wanna fish the nymph stage of that bug closer to those weed beds, because like I said, those Callibaetis nymphs are gonna kind of hang out right around that weed bed. And then on my top tag, I'm gonna do kind of like an emerging looking Callibaetis. And the way you can tell what an emerging Callibaetis fly looks like is it's gonna kind of have like a clear epoxy on the top of it. And then if there's no wind on the water, like there is no wind today, you're gonna wanna do like a couple slow little strips, even like one like super hard strip, just to kind of act like those bugs are like really moving and give it like the real bug imitation. That's gonna wrap up this segment of Bug of the Month. Thanks for watching, and if you guys are planning to go fish these still waters, if you have any questions on the Callibaetis or any of the rigging styles that we did today, feel free to come on in, talk to me, talk to Colin. We'd love to help you out.